Welcome back to episode 282 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with my, I don't know, are you like my Italian ripoff?
Like maybe your Italian counterpart. Jesus Christ, ripoff, dude. Rough, right out of the gate this week. I can already tell. Here we go.
But Grizz, we're back, man. It's before the time of natural disasters, really. We're like in that nice, like in between period where I'm not going to get hit by a hurricane, even though I don't really fear that anymore, being in PA. And you will be getting hit by 18 feet of snow mixed with ice. We're in that nice time period where we could just fucking relax, hang out, go through our what do we call this? Demonic December, right?
Right. Yes.
We're in the holiday season. We figured, what more can you want for a holiday movie than an Italian take on The Exorcist? It's quite a ride, and it has quite the soundtrack. But Grizz, before we get into this movie, let's hit the intro, and I'll see you beyond the door, I guess.
Beyond the door, yeah.
Where she left me in the darkness of despair. I've been turned away by heaven. Now let the devil hear my prayer. Master of the flame, make her feel the love that's driving.
That's an awesome
That's
fucking
like-
dude.
yeah,
That was an awesome song.
That music to begin that fucking shit, like this movie is probably the best part, honestly. That
Dude, what-
fucking song rules, dude.
What do you think about all the music in this, where it's like this, like real, like soulful, like
Sleazy.
funky shit, but like everything has like demonic, like undertones to it. All the lyrics are about like demonic
yeah,
shit, or so it seems like. I was insanely shocked about, the quality of music. It's like real music. A lot of times in these Italian movies, you just get this like generic, almost public domain type sounds,
Scores.
and
Yeah.
scores. Yeah. Obviously you have your Fabio Frizzis and all that shit and Goblin, but most of the time it was like as budget as it gets. This one, not so much, man. They rocked the fuck out of this.
You could tell that, like, they went into this being like, we gotta like cash in on Exorcist, being the following year. So I feel like the budget was like dumped into this much heavier than like other Italian horror films of this time period that like we've talked about, or that just we know in general. This one really does have like a quality, like a finish to it that I think others of them, might lack on a little bit.
Yeah, we have Richard Johnson in this, who plays Dimitri. He's like a mysterious character, but you would know him from Zombie. And anytime I see him in a movie, instantly all I can think of is fucking Zombie. Like no matter what, I just think of him as fucking Dr. Menard and all that shit. Like he's
a tall dude, right? He's got to be like fucking.
He seems like a pretty
6'3",
big guy.
6'4", right?
Yeah, and
He's
he's
gotta
like
be fucking up there.
He's like a little bit younger in this movie, right? Like his hair is a little bit darker. He's got a little bit more of it. But once you see him, it's going to be a fucking ripoff of some American movie. He's just like one of those dudes that's in those things. And you know what's funny? There's one sound clip that they use as like a demon breathing and or like just making like a groaning noise. They use that in The Beyond. Like that is a 100% a sound clip that's used in The Beyond. So I guess this is where it came from, which is pretty interesting.
Dude, I'll take this the wrong way, Mike. I feel like if you were to have autism, right?
Oh,
That would be
no.
your power, bro. Like you have the ability to like pick out these like sounds from like, oh, that's the doorbell that they used in this fucking movie from like 75. It's like, how the fuck do you know that? It's like the weirdest like
You know,
specialty to be fucking dialed in on, my friend.
it's so funny. Like things like that, I guess they just kind of stick with me because I've been editing this fucking podcast for years. I've been editing other things before that. And when you're listening to like sounds and people talking and trying to remove things, like it just sticks with you. And like the noises to me are so distinct to like these movies that like I don't know. I like pick it up, no problem.
Instinctively, you knew that shit, dude. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Because like most of them, at least this is from '74, so like this is before a lot of the reuse starts happening. But like in the '80s and like the late '70s, you start seeing all this stuff where it's like,
it
I know
happens
that
heavy.
sound, I know that sound, I know that soundtrack.
song.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, I know
Like,
that song. For
people
sure.
are really like, borrowing, I guess you could say, from other people. I just want to say what's up to Alan Cantation, sup goo,
Yeah, what up, B. Tims?
goons, and Brendan Timmons, what's up, man? This movie does in fact have some goo in it because, of course, The Exorcist has the pea soup scene. They actually say something about pea soup here at one point in the movie, but they
I think we
have
touched a little bit
an equal.
last week when I asked you about this, but like, so Exorcist, you're not a huge fan. You're not a Exorcist hater by any means. You'll watch it once a year, enjoy it
it's
or
good.
whatever. But
Yeah,
so
solid.
now, do you feel like this is more enjoyable for you than
I
something
like this
The
movie a lot
Exorcist?
more. Yeah, I like this
Really,
movie a lot
that
more.
surprised me. I feel like this is not horrible for being like a ripoff of what Exorcist was. But man, I feel like the story and just the delivery in Exorcist is just so much better than this movie. Like, I just think this doesn't finish strong for me, I think is the big problem.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that. I like though, like the odd sleaziness that's like in
Well, it's
all
Italian,
these
baby.
movies.
What we do.
Yeah, like I don't know, it like adds this like certain sheen to it that I just fucking I love. I know The Exorcist, they use tubular bells. That wasn't made for The Exorcist. That was already a piece of music before. But I feel like this has the stronger score overall. I feel like there's a lot of things that I would listen to, like outside of watching the movie that
Well,
are
that
in
song
this.
in general we just heard is a
Yeah,
jam, dude, for sure.
That whole like scene itself is fucking hilarious because like the one dude that's like the producer or whatnot that's behind the glass, he's like bobbing his head. He's like, yeah,
Everyone's feeling it.
yeah.
You can't not.
Yeah,
Shit
yeah.
going
It's like one of those things where like if you just saw that part of the movie, you would be like, what am I watching? Like what the fuck is this?
Does not seem like a horror movie at all.
But in The Exorcist, Reagan's mom was an actress, and in this one, he's like a famous music guy. You know what I mean? Like they all kind of,
Well, I'll
connect
give
in
them
that
that
sort of
too.
way.
Is that I like that it is a rip off, but it's not like we're just gonna copy everything. It's like everything is there, but it's got its own like little bit of a twist on it. Like you just said, not an actress. This is like a music producer. Like they're still wealthy, they're still famous in their own way, but it makes it a little bit of a different story.
yeah,
You have like in this case a his wife and the mother of these children who's been possessed, and supposedly I don't know if she's having a fucking demon baby or not. I never fucking really figured that out.
she is. That is a thing that's going on.
But so it has its own story, but it's highly like taken from the success of Exorcist. I mean, you could tell
Yeah.
that some of these scenes we're gonna see here that it's a strong play on that movie.
Yeah, especially like when you see like what she's wearing and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But there are slight differences. Like there isn't a battle between a priest and the fucking demon. That's not a thing in this. It's more nefarious, more of a Rosemary's Baby type deal. You know
Definitely
what I mean?
has that vibe to it. Yeah.
I definitely kind of prefer this where there's like an underlying like scheme behind everything, and it's been set in motion years before. I kind of like that idea.
So now, how do you feel? Okay, so you just mentioned that movie, like this going up against something like Rosemary's Baby. Do you feel like this is still the watch for you compared to that?
Yeah, I'm actually not a huge fan of that one. I think it's kind of
No?
it's
Okay.
a little boring for me. Not that it's a bad movie. It's just it's got that like that time period of I don't know, slow burn kind of shit.
So that's kind of how this hit for me, man, because like there is moments of awesomeness in this movie that I really enjoy. But it's this like, and you know, a lot of 70s films can fall victim to this. But the dialogue is just very heavy. It's like, and then like the delivery of it's a little fucking heavy. It gets a little sluggish through parts of those. Like you really got to get through it
yeah,
to enjoy it.
I have a question for you. Do you think the daughter was supposed to be older than the kid that they cast? The way that like the language she used and the way that she spoke, it
Okay.
seemed like she was supposed to be a bit older.
See, I don't know if she was supposed to be a bit older or if they were just trying to portray them as like really shitty parents. You know, because like the kid throws the fucking garbage out of the back of the fucking convertible in the beginning into the street, and like just the way they talk to the kids is like kind of shitty to begin with too. So I think it's just like, hey, this is like the product of their environment. They're like just kind of like nasty kids who swear and like,
Yeah.
you know, they're just kind of out
Do
there,
what they
you know,
want.
but the parents don't do shit to correct it, kind of a thing either. So
Well, the mom slaps the little girl right at one point. No, or the little boy. The little boy.
little boy, I think it is. Yeah.
And the dad's like, "Hey, the fuck," and like because she like has, you know, it's another cool. All right, so like we're really kind of getting into this movie already. There's like a really cool thing with this movie where it's almost like the Amityville Horror type thing, but the Amityville Horror, that movie, I don't know what year the book came out, but like the movie itself came out years after this, but like a similar thing where like dad starts getting more aggressive, right? Like slowly starting to like snap on the kids and all
Turning,
that
yeah.
stuff and like turn into like kind of a different person. I really like that aspect of this, especially because it's the mother. It's not like one of the kids. You know, the kids, you have the parents that are trying to help getting everybody that they can. It's like a very unique situation where you know, up until recently, that wasn't really a thing where the mom was being possessed.
you know, and that's like it is a cool aspect of it because it kind of plays on like this like juxtaposition of like, you know, everybody has like that idea of like motherly love and like, you know, that safeness of like what a mom represents and stuff. So to like have it be like this thing where like the place of comfort for these kids or whatever is actually like the source of evil, and like to have that like build throughout the movie is a really cool play that does keep it interesting through some of the like the more boring parts, because it keeps me wanting to know like you know, are the kids the ones end up being possessed? Is it the mom that's possessed? Because like shit happens throughout where it's like
Yeah.
it's chaotic. It doesn't really like get into the depth of the possession almost until like, you know, almost 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
not
like.
really the focus point of the whole movie, right? Like
No,
that's
it's
kind of
not,
just
yeah.
like the end, you know, the culmination of everything. So, you know, like you were saying, you don't really know who's going to actually be possessed in this house. At one point, I'm going to show a clip right now. You think that maybe the daughter might be the one that is going to be getting possessed because she's actually speaking to like this demon, right? Like she's hanging out with this thing, and you kind of have this like poltergeist type thing going on.
Oh, you mean the son with the chair?
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
kid?
yeah. Was it the son or
Yeah,
the daughter?
it's the son, I believe, and like it's not scary, but it's fucking inherently creepy. Like, and it goes back to that thing that like, oh, the kids can see things, they're like more perceptive and stuff like that. It's showing itself to the kids maybe more so than to the adults. This is a fun scene, man.
Now we can be alone together, just the two of us. You sit in that chair.
Oh, that dialogue's so creepy.
Oh yeah, it was the son.
Comfy, huh?
Wish I had hair like that.
It's like a swing.
I would love it if you had hair like that.
that.
But you see, like, you know, the fucking chairs rocking, like it's you know, it's reacting to what the kid's saying and stuff like that.
Fun.
He's like having a great time with this ghost demon thing. It's not really showing any sort of like
Malevolence,
no ill will towards the kids or anything. You do start seeing a change in the mom, but as you get through the movie, things start to kind of go south for everybody, which like any good Italian horror film, that's the way it goes, right?
I mean, they're known for the great downer endings, which makes them so great on their their very own. I love a good downer ending, man.
Well, something that I also liked was when the doll is like moving around, like before it really starts getting fucking crazy. This is actually pretty creepy because like just think about like this happening to you. Like, what would you do in this situation?
Dude, like my sister had fucking dolls like this, So like I could totally was always creeped out by him. So always imagining this happening.
So the little girl is like going into the refrigerator to get this giant egg-looking cake. All right, looks like fucking a hard-boiled egg. But the doll is like slowly walking towards the girl.
A giant flan that she just picked out of the fridge.
The voice of like the demon in that like part is like pretty creepy too. But I like what they do with the doll where it's not walking like in Child's Play. He walks like a person. That thing is walking like a doll. Like something is like, it's not alive. It's just being like puppeted.
Forced.
Yeah, by something.
And what I love that these kind of clips that we're showing right now demonstrates is that like, it kind of teases you a little bit on like it's really focused on the children. Like whatever this thing is happening right now, all of it really kind of seems to be centered around these two kids. The adults aren't really experiencing, too much of it really in the first place. So I'm starting to think, okay, obviously the daughter or possibly the son here is going to get, possessed by this demon. Because I knew it was like an Exorcist ripoff going into it and stuff, but then like it takes this turn, eventually here on us. But before it takes this turn, it kind of like culminates with this wild fucking scene with these kids, man. And I think this probably might be like one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it's just like it's intense. It's a little bit longer than we're gonna show here too, but it's like their bedroom just goes fucking wild. Like everything starts going like spinning off the walls, like, and I love this effect that we're gonna see here where like light is coming through like floorboards or like wall boards and stuff like that. It gives us this really like hollow room creepy vibe to this scene. Dressers, great. I love that.
The noises are awesome.
Yeah.
Imagine being in this room as a kid.
All those dolls' eyes lighting up and shit, dude. I thought this was like a great way to like, highlight the poltergeist activity of like what's going on, because that's really all that's happened now is like this poltergeist activity. It's not really like
a possession,
any kind of possession at all. Yeah,
it's really cool. Like the way that they have the movie shot, like it looks almost like a funhouse room. Something out of like
totally
fucking like something from like Nightmare on Elm Street almost, where the room is fucking moving back and forth. Like it's not like in a normal house anymore with the lighting coming through the floorboards. It really does like set a tone and like a mood for the movie where like these kids are being legit terrorized, and it's not just like a doll moving. It's like, no, like they're going to try to make these kids fucking clinically insane at this point.
Yeah.
And it's not even the worst
terror.
It's not even the worst thing that's going to happen, right? This is just kind of like a warm up for like the rest of the movie where like, the mother starts getting possessed and starts doing all sorts of Reagan type shit. It's fucking.
So how do you feel about this like Dimitri character, like his role in this movie, like this aspect of this film?
Yeah. Well, first of all, isn't that one of the names isn't the guy's name fucking Dimitri in The Exorcist? The young priest. Something. Why you do this to me, Demi?
Yeah. I think it is actually. Yeah.
I like his character. It reminds me of what the fuck's his name? High Pike in
Okay,
in
yeah,
Hack
yeah.
a Lantern,
In,
where like he's setting up this fucking like this evil plot to have the Antichrist fucking brought into this world. And I like the fact that he basically like bargained his soul for like 10 more years, and he had to help this plot, you know, come to fruition. And you know, that whole thing like comes full circle at the end, but like it's such a they almost like brush over it in the beginning, right? And like they don't really give it much thought after that until like kind of the climax of the movie. But I really do think he's like a cool character. He's kind of like this fucking evil agent trying to like
start stalking the husband. You know?
He like actually saves the husband's life from getting hit by the car when the husband's like in this fucking demonic trance or whatnot. But like he understands that he has to like kind of win him over and like, you know, play it cool.
Get close to her, man.
Yeah, because they don't want like the kid to like be aborted, and they don't, because the pregnancy is like progressing insanely fast, right? So like it's really fucked up.
Sure.
And I don't know, like this dude's character, he's just like this mysterious, smooth operating, sweaty guy. You know what I mean?
And I like this like battle almost between like the actual doctor and like the Dimitri character that kind of happens like throughout like the end of this movie and stuff, where like the doctor wants to treat her for like this, and then like Dimitri is trying to convince the husband that like, you know,
like a doctor ain't doing shit about this.
Yeah, that's not the way to go. You know, it's kind of similar to like The Exorcist in a way where like, you know, they had the doctor, but you know, it's like this is beyond what a doctor can do. You know, we need a fucking priest, the whole thing like that. It's kind of similar, but this has like more of an evil. You know, they don't need to. This Dimitri character is not out to save this woman in any way. You know, that's not the goal. Whereas that is the goal in The Exorcist, is to like, let's save this child's soul.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Dimitri has fucking evil intentions, man, which I think is a really cool way to make this its own kind of story. But on its own, really.
But they do show he has a conscience because he let her go the first time or something, right? Like he let her out from like that ritual that was going on.
So now, was that supposed to be like her, or was this supposed to?
No, that was her.
That was like,
because that was her. That was her old boyfriend. Remember, that was the whole hang up of the husband. That like that's like her old fucking dude, and he has power.
So I wasn't sure if it was like another woman that had a similar situation that he ended up like not following through on.
That was legit her.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like this whole thing was like brought about by him. You know, he started it, and he's back to finish it. And his 10 years are almost up. That's just such a cool thing. What do you think though about like the father character in this? He's kind of useless, right? Like he doesn't really do anything. Like it's really Dimitri that steps in for good, you know, or bad, and kind of takes like the leading role.
Yeah, I mean the husband is definitely like you know, the denier of most of what's happening until it's like blatantly in his face.
Yeah, until it's too late.
He can no longer deny it. But even then, he still is just kind of like inept to the whole thing. He doesn't like try to help really in any way. He's very much like this confused agent throughout like the entire second half of the film, where like you just said, he doesn't do shit, man. He's just kind of like a space taker in the story in a way to like bring all these people together.
Yeah, even the fucking doctor dude takes like more of a front seat to things, where he's like, no, like we need to get these fucking tests done. Like I don't like that's the only way.
That scene where like he has that fucking, the doctor has the head thing on her and she's like fucking, the mom is like fully possessed in the bed at this point, dude. This is wild shit. Just the way this looks, like what the fuck, man.
Is this what hospital rooms used to look like? Jesus.
I am in that man.
Oh, this is
Child
great.
must be born.
She's got like crazy eyes.
She does an amazing job of portraying this like possessed woman, man. She's fucking awesome in this film.
First, I'll kill you.
I really like when she's like laying there, like saying the shit, and her one eye is completely straight and the other one is like going circular, like around her eye socket. Like she's like, it's rotating around. The nurse is like horrified by what's fucking going on. It's such a cool scene. Like she really does play like a good possessed woman or person, whatever the fuck you want to say. Just in general, she does a really good job. I like the way that they switch between like fucking 3 or 4 voices between the whole thing. It's the deep demon voice. There's like the kid voice. There's like another demon voice, and then it's like it's really.
I'll give this movie its flowers in the aspect that they do a straight rip off of the head turning, scene. But I feel like they did a better job in this movie than they did with, Reagan in fucking Exorcist. I think the full head rotation in this one with the mother is far creepier. I think it looks better. Just like the expression on her face and stuff like that was really good. Even in like some of the stuff that was a blatant ripoff, they almost did it better in some ways than The Exorcist did. The only thing that I feel like, I would pick The Exorcist still over is just like the overall storytelling and like the finish of the film, making more coherent sense to me.
Yeah. They do the vomit scene in this one. Only it's done, I'm not going to say more realistically, but it's less of like a fire hydrant of puke and more of just her being.
I do like the ooze.
Yeah, this is where we get some goo finally. But she's fully possessed at this point, and she's just puking up goo like Troll 2.
Looks great.
Yeah.
You filthy pig! Lick the vile whore's vomit!
Lick the vile whore's vomit,
So
Grizz.
fucking good, dude.
Anytime I see like these actors or actresses or whatever with the colored eye lenses on, like the contacts in like the 70s or whatever, all I could think of is like that was probably fucking horrible. Like that was probably a fucking horrendous experience. But she does a really good job in like looking like this sickly, possessed, demonic creature talking to this person. Yeah, like talking to this person that's absolutely horrified. He's got like, those like Coke bottle glasses on and stuff. He's like a stereotypical doctor in one of these movies. I find her as like a possessed human better than Reagan in The Exorcist. Like overall as like a possessed individual, I think hers is like more believable.
Yeah, you can make a strong argument for that, man. And I don't know if it's because she's just like an older woman, so like she has like the ability to like really, get into that character and transform. But you definitely make a strong point there. I do still enjoy, Reagan's display in her movie. I think that it works amazingly well in The Exorcist also. But this really is a great fucking possession portrayal, man. She gets into this character throughout this entire second half of the movie. And it's captivating. Every scene that she's in and when she's fully possessed, you're fucking locked in wanting to know what's going to happen. It just builds and builds and builds.
I have no problem with the length of this movie. I enjoy it. I enjoy the whole thing.
It's almost 2 hours.
It's almost 2 hours. I feel like if they trim down some of that beginning, you could probably get rid of a little bit of that. It probably would take people like you who were like kind of on the fence, like where if this was maybe an hour 25, you would probably be more inclined to enjoy it, because there's tons to like about it, but I can see where you would think like, oh, like it's kind of dragging a little bit. Nothing really is going on. Yeah. But that I like that, like fucking people hanging out, people just fucking doing like normal shit for whatever reason. I find it entertaining because you get a glimpse of like, what do they think Americans are like? You know what I mean? Like in all these Italian movies, it's always supposed to be like people in America. So it's like you got these guys living in Italy their whole life. That was a fucking mouthful. You got these guys living in Italy their whole life, writing like what it's like to be a fucking street tough in New York or like a whatever from Chicago. I love it. I love it. I find it really, really, really funny.
Dude, the way like the best ones are like the Fulci action movies. Like it really is in
Oh,
full
yeah.
display of like how ridiculous they portray some of those people in New York.
Well, what I love about that is like they use those same characters and it takes place in Rome. So it's like you got this guy
Oh, yeah,
talking
yeah.
like he's in fucking Brooklyn, but it's, you know, they're in fucking
Coliseum's
Rome,
behind us.
yeah, man, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of good like action flicks that these dudes all did back before you may have seen, you know, before they got into the horror movies or whatever. There's a lot of them out there. I definitely wouldn't discount them. You were saying that all the scenes with the mom possessed were fucking awesome, you know, captivating. I really like when she's got the straight jacket on and she's like finally kind of like had enough of this shit. Right? Like I kind of just like placated you people for her.
I'm in like way more control than you think I am. Kind of like display.
She's covered in vomit, but she like just rips the fucking straight jacket off.
I love this part too.
Dimitri.
Fucking slides over to her.
Yeah.
But Jessica, how beautiful she was.
Sensitive, like a child.
The voice transform there was
Come into
great.
The world through her. You fool! You let her get away that time. Remember?
See? That's where they kind of like make
Yeah.
sure you know that it's the same people. But I really do like how this demon is like talking to him. Well, actually, it's supposed to be the devil, I think. Right? Because in the beginning, like that fucking like intro, it's supposed to be the devil talking, right?
Okay. So it's like supposed to be like the Antichrist being born. Like
Yeah,
the
that's how I
spawn
took
of
this.
Satan.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
I can
have
see
we're gonna
that.
have 2 movies in a row, man, with the fucking Antichrist. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I really do like when she starts showing like she's truly powerful and that like these people fucking there's nothing they can do about it. She tosses the fucking dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
That's one of the fucking funniest scenes. This is like this is where like the husband has to like come to the realization that like, okay, she's not just sick. Something else
wrong.
is definitely up.
he looks like a Polonia.
It kind of does.
He's getting fucking tossed around. Kind of looks like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, I love her. Like, dude, her expressions too throughout that is just amazing. Drooling and shit.
Those like contacts, the yellow contacts really do add to the whole, like to everything. Like it really does make her
Possession.
look. I don't know if it's like because she has like blonde hair also, so
Oh,
like those
yeah, yeah.
contacts make her look kind of like non-human. Yeah, like a really odd look. It's really cool, and like you could see if you're watching our YouTube stream, the picture from the what's it called, the poster, you see like her eyes are like glowing in it. Like that's a cool thing that they do in this movie, right? Where like that's kind of the sign of the demon is the
And it
the
adds
glowing
so
eyes.
much, man. Like you just said, the way it makes her look, it sets it off. I think like just like the makeup and like the way that she looks with the eyes and everything, it really does add so much to the transformation. Where I think it's subtle but perfectly subtle.
Yeah.
Whereas with The Exorcist, it's a little bit over the top. This
Yeah,
is like
it's like
real
neon.
dialed in.
Yeah, it's almost more of like I'm not gonna say more realistic, but like a more
But I see
realistic.
what you're saying though. It
Yeah.
feels more realistic.
Yeah. So why don't you tell them how this thing ends?
I don't even fucking know, dude.
Our man
It's so
Dimitri,
confusing.
has a change of heart and doesn't go through with the ritual, and the baby is born stillborn, and that's what's under the sheet. That's like the stillborn baby, but
And that,
but
yeah, exactly. But
the son opens up a package, and you see this box earlier in the movie. It's next to the mother when she's lying in the bed. It's like next to her. He's opening up this box, and it's a replica of Dimitri's car that he was in when he crashed, and he throws it over the side of the ferry, and you see his eyes fucking glowing. Yeah, so he just possessed.
That's what I don't understand.
He possessed.
So is he
kid.
the baby from the original one that she got away from?
No. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So like the kid's been the fucking Antichrist the whole time.
Dude, I didn't even think of that. That's why he's able to fucking. Well, no, that doesn't really make sense, because why would the demon be fucking trying to do it again if he was already there?
To get to Dimitri.
Yeah, but like the deed was done. You know what I mean? Like they already brought the baby in then. If the little kid was, that was the whole thing. They wanted to bring the baby into this world.
Right, but if also like, yeah, this dude backed out. He's a fucking piece of shit. You gotta fucking.
I think they would just wait another
tie up the loose ends. You know what I'm saying?
I think they'd just wait another 5 years. This kid
So
could go after him.
He comes naturally.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess he's like pretty old in this. By pretty old, he's probably. I'm gonna look it up. He was probably like fucking 32 years old in this
I was
movie.
gonna say, yeah, he's probably younger than us in this fucking movie.
I don't mind the ending. I like that he has the change of heart and he doesn't go through with it. I kind of wasn't expecting that until maybe like just before. We could see like his whole thing fucking changes and he's not really nefarious anymore. I did like the ending. I would love to watch this with a group of people. I think this would be a good group watch also, because there's a lot of funny shit. There's one clip. Usually Grizz pulls the clips, but he didn't pull this one this week. So I have the random clip of the week for you.
Oh, you pulled one. Nice.
Yeah, I had to pull this because like these people are just gonna be like, what the fuck? So the dad is like walking down the street when all the demonic shit is starting to get worse, and he's basically accosted by like a street band.
The fucking band, dude. I thought about pulling this, but I was like, this is so fucking
the
stupid.
One dude is playing like a pan flute, or like what the hell is that thing called?
I think you're right. I think it's a pan flute.
No, the pan flute is like the long one, like the one Peter Pan played. Right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a oh man, why can't a recorder? Like a recorder.
You play Hot Cross Buns on in school.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing it with his fucking nose, though. It's like literally stuck up his nose. Another demonic undertone song. This whole band is just like following this dude, circling him, harassing him with like
so weird.
Smooth prog.
Jazzy prog
stuff.
R&B music.
There's one point where like you hear the guy going like,
oh my God.
Like the blowing of his nose. So like there's tons of stuff in this it's so entertaining, and it's sprinkled throughout.
Weird.
It's actually available on YouTube, which is probably why we haven't gotten thrown off or anything for any of these songs. Yeah. But Grizz, before we move on to our next thing, let me hear your final thoughts on Beyond the Door.
You know, while I was watching it, I fucking hated it because it was like a struggle. Then after I digested it a little bit and I thought about, you know, what I watched, and I kind of skimmed through it again, there's a lot to like here. You know, if I think you just said, like, you know, a little bit ago, if they would have brought this down maybe to 120, 125, it'd probably be a little bit more enjoyable for me. The 2 hour almost time run is a bit rough at times, just because the dialogue, there's so much unneeded dialogue and storytelling that doesn't really go anywhere. But other than that, like the actual possession aspect of this film, the poltergeist stuff that we saw here, it's really well done. It's fucking better at doing what The Exorcist did in a lot of ways. I still love The Exorcist, maybe because I saw it first or whatever, but like this definitely gives that movie a solid fucking run for its money, man.
Yeah, there you go, man. And next week we're going to follow this up with another possession type film that is, I guess it would be technically not a ripoff, but influenced by The Exorcist. And that's going to be The Song of Solomon. I have the DVD Blu-ray right here. This is a newer one. Probably one of my favorite modern horror movies, like legit. Like, I like this movie better than Beyond the Door. I like this movie better than The Exorcist. Straight up. I fucking love this shit.
100%, dude.
And
Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, next week's movie is gonna fucking blow your lids back. This movie fucking rules.
yeah,
So,
we're gonna up the gore. We're gonna up the fucking blasphemous shit. It's gonna be quite the ride, and you could see that at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideo podcast, and we will be joined by a blast from the past, because this will be our Christmas celebration, so we have to do something special, and we have a very special person that we will be bringing on. I think you guys are going to be happy, because he sure is happy to come. That's what he said. There you go. But Grizz, that's all for next week, next Tuesday. Let's get into the wide world of metal, where we listened to something this week where I was like, holy fuck, dude, this fucking rules.
yeah, dude, yeah. I brought to the table a real fucking dope band this week. This band is out of Pittsford, Massachusetts. The name of the band is Escuela Grind. Dude, this fucking band rules in so many ways. The song that we're gonna hear is Ball and Chain. But this is coming off of a new release that's not out yet. And what this band has done that I fucking absolutely love, they've put out 3 different releases over their time period as a band that are labeled as what the band's influence are. So they started out, they put out a power violence fucking album that just dialed in power violence, like to a fucking T. And then like a few fucking albums later, they put out a grindcore album called Grindcore. And it is just like a fucking exhibition of perfection, man, of what that is. So this song here comes off of their next release, and that is death metal. And if this is any fucking indication of what the new album is going to be like, I cannot wait for the full release of this thing. Let's play the first clip of this Ball and Chain off of the new heavy metal album from Escuela Grind.
Yeah, they have a video for it. Let's just add that to this,
which is awesome.
Female guitar player, female vocalist, right?
Hell yeah. You'd never know.
No. It's awesome. This would be a band that, like, when I was in my early 20s, I would have fucking loved to go see.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah. Been
Like,
fun to see this band.
It's like when
Before
we
my
used to go
back
see,
hurt.
I was gonna say, yeah. It's like when we used to go see, like, On Broken Wings or something. It's like he just went to mosh and fight. That was it. You didn't care about seeing them. You just went to go go be an asshole.
And I'm putting it out there right now, man. Anybody that listens to fucking, that wants to make heavy metal music, listen to that goddamn snare drum on this fucking on this song, man. That is how you produce and you dial in a snare sound. It's fucking heavy. It's got a great like ring to it, man. It just sets itself apart from the rest of the drum mix so well. It's like the perfect metal drum production on this, man. Everything about the song fucking rules. Her vocals, ridiculous, dude. They are fucking awesome.
Yeah, I really do like the production of this. Has that like really deep low end guitars and bass sound fucking heavy as hell.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, this is a fucking band I would love to see live. We have a second clip that is equally as heavy as the first.
Might even
Right?
be better.
Might even be better. From the same
I
song.
love this 2-step they fucking get into here. It's so good.
I love this. See, this would have been awesome to see when I could actually move without hurting myself. Now I can only play the music. I can't fucking go see it anymore.
Yeah, and like from like looking up like the band's lyrical content and shit, they're like super into just fucking like, the band sounds evil or whatever, dude. It's all about like uplifting fucking like positive fucking message shit and stuff. Like they're all about like local metal fucking communities and like fucking coming together. What a fucking dope fun band this has to be, man. Like this is what it's all about. In my
You know what I
opinion.
miss when I used to go to shows? I'm gonna go back like I'm an old man, but I'm actually getting there
reminisce.
now. I'm like the old guy if
feel
I go
like
to the shows. But like when I was younger, going to like New York hardcore shows in like the fucking late 90s, early 2000s, Like you would go see bands and like they would act like they fucking hated you. You know what I mean? Like you would go and like they would be
yeah,
trying to
dude.
punch you. Like they would be fucking it would be just violence. And it's so funny how now like everything's so uplifting. Where like when we were like going to shows and stuff like that, or at least like the bands I was going to see at that time, everything was such a
Little
downer.
standoffish.
Yeah,
Little
such-
standoffish.
Yeah,
dude.
such a, like fucking going to see Neglected stuff, like shit like that, where it's just like fuck life and all that. Like, you know, it ain't fucking worth it. Blood for blood, all that shit. Like,
So wild.
yeah, all the death metal bands, all they sung about was fucking. Well, you know, depending if you were going to see like IB, yeah, you had to go hear about the Iraq War, I guess. But
Oh yeah. That was that time period too. A lot of death metal bands are touching on that one.
yeah, isn't that funny? Like people are gonna
Weird.
go through. So like, you know, like when you look at like different genres of metal, or at least the stages of like the metal evolution, you see like, all right, like first like everybody, it was like a live photo of the band, then it went to like an illustration, then the illustrations went to like a more extreme illustration. And then you started getting into like all that other shit.
I like the era of like the photo collage, fucking metal album covers. I saw that a lot.
Oh yeah, like where you'd have like the little fucking like, you know,
Like, didn't Fetus have like wasn't Dying Fetus's like Iraq War fucking inspired like
Well,
album a photo collage cover on the front of it?
I don't
I
know,
almost
man.
feel
But
like
like
it was.
But like people are gonna go through like all those. You're gonna see like the '90s like crazy illustrated horror shit, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see a lot of military stuff. People with gas masks on, things like that. It's like what the fuck
No,
happened?
Autopsy did one too. They did a fucking album like
It's
that.
like what happened in the early 2000s. People are gonna be like, oh, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I failed history.
War happened.
War started. But Grizz, I really do dig this band. I will be listening to this next album. I texted you back immediately. I was like, dude, this fucking
That's
rips.
fucking sick.
Like, this is fucking sick.
Oh yeah.
They're available everywhere, right? What the hell's it called?
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, YouTube. Get to their Bandcamp. They have a ton of their fucking merch is sick. So definitely, and, dude, they have a huge catalog. They put out a new album this last year that fucking crushes. This next one, the heavy metal or the death metal album, comes out early 2024. This was the first release off of it, and like I said, if it's anything like this fucking song, dude, sign me the fuck up. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I definitely am in for the rest of this one. Chris, you keep hitting me with these fucking awesome bands lately. All this fucking shit that I
trying,
really
dude.
like. I don't know.
Fucking
How do you do it, man? How are you finding these people?
I am a fucking purveyor of metal, my friend, dude. I legitimately like will spend a few hours trying to find something interesting and unique
Dude, I'm
for
going to call
everybody
you.
each week, man.
I'm going to call. Oh, I got it now, man. You're the metal miner. That's your fucking. That's
I
your
like
new
that.
nickname at the beginning of every
Digging
fucking
deep, dude.
episode. Yeah. See, well, dude, we could. Oh man. All right, no, I'm gonna save that for when we do
right,
our
I like it.
reboot. Yeah. So one thing that we were talking about before the show, and you know, we have our, I guess what you would call our regular format that we do our show in and stuff. Especially this is more towards the live thing that we do on YouTube with the video and everything.
Yeah.
Come January, we're gonna change it up a little bit. Still gonna do it same time, same day, and all that stuff. Just you know the way we go about things, we're gonna try to make it a little bit more entertaining for our viewers. It's gonna be a fun time. I get 2 weeks off at the end of this month. And all that time is going to be rebooting our presentation here, so it should be good. I'm pretty excited
So
about
I'm
that.
gonna give away a little secret. Mike bought a dunk tank, and he's gonna be setting it up in his studio and,
With my
you know, we're
computer
gonna have,
on it, with everything attached,
Yeah, we're gonna have
plugged in.
questions throughout the show. If you answer correctly, you know we get to fucking dunk Mike throughout the entire show. It's gonna be a wet and wild time.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to do like the. I'm gonna do the landline where like you could call in and I'm gonna pick up the phone live on the
I would-
show.
Bro, I would fucking love to have live call-ins on this show. That would
figure it
make
out.
me so happy.
There's got to be a way that we can do it. There's got to be a way
there's
that I
gotta
can bring in live callers here. We can really turn into the coast to coast of horror
love
movies and all that
I
shit.
would love it.
Hey man, 2024.
Be my Art Bell.
Hey, you know, we said this year we're gonna go completely live. We're gonna go, do video and everything. We did
did
it.
it, dude.
We figured it out. We kind of refined the process a little bit, but this is just like entry level shit. Unfortunately, we're not able to record in the same room, so we're kind of fucking assholes for that. But you're gonna like what you're gonna like what we do. Oh, see, yeah, I'd call in. Yeah, see, we can have like random interruptions. Hopefully, no. I don't know. I guess I'd have to work on that.
A little bit of delay of those calls, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. I know the Hog and maybe somebody with the initials KC might have a little too much fun with that. But next week we will be doing the song. Oh man, the Song of Solomon. Just had a brain fart. I can't wait to do that. Unearthed Film stuff is always fucking awesome. You can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. You can visit our YouTube channel where we have all these live videos posted. It's not like Twitch where they get rid of them. You can go all the way back to when we first started and see some shit. I have a video on our YouTube channel that I took I may have mentioned this before. I took all of the clips from Demons and all the clips from when they're watching the movie in the Metropole. I took all those movie clips and I spliced them together to make like as much of a, I guess, fluid
and then
story
he dressed
out of that.
up like the characters, each one of them,
And I
and
finished
fucking
it.
recreated his own
did it.
ending for
Yeah,
the
me
movie.
and my dog.
That's going to be released next. That's going to be fun. Just wait.
But Grizz, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you could find me at Bad Taste Video. And like I said, next week is going to be a special one. We're going to have somebody special back. It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube page on Tuesday. And it will be our holiday spectacular, our Christmas spectacular, our Hanukkah spectacular, our Kwanzaa spectacular, our what else is there? I don't know.
I'm going to dye my beard white and then be fucking fire.
Dude,
bro.
that would be sick. If you showed up dressed like Santa Claus, that would be fucking it, man. I'd be down. I'd be down with that.
Dude, that's heavy, bro.
But I'm excited for that. Unfortunately, we're not watching Feeders 2. We can only do it so many times. But I want to thank everybody for coming. And we will see you next week with the Song of Solomon.